here today with Nancy McConnell, and she is going to tell you a little bit about the legal field and banking. So, would you like to introduce yourself, Nancy?
I would love to. I am Nancy McConnell. I am in Kansas City. I am currently with BOK Financial in the corporate trust department. I have been a practicing lawyer for, let's see, I graduated from law school in 2003. And I was in private practice for 16 or 17 years. And then recently hopped over to BOKF, where I'm still uh, handling legal matters, but doing other things too, wearing several hats. So,
Have you liked the change from being a lawyer on your own?
yeah, I've always been with a firm,
Okay.
and I'm in public finance has been my practice area where I've
Okay.
spent the bulk of my career, um, which ties nicely to the corporate trust department at BOKF. It's a lot different. I love the people I'm working with, and I like the kind of the variety of tasks
Uh-huh.
that I undertake, and I really enjoy the work life balance aspect of it.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah,
That's always
yes, yes.
so, and how did you kind of what career path did you take? We've gone over a little bit of it, but kind of
Hmm,
maybe a little
hmm.
more detail. And where would you
Sure.
like to be in the future?
Sure. I graduated from undergrad with an economics degree with minors in business administration and math. And then I went straight into law school from undergrad. A lot of people choose to take a couple of years working or doing something else before they go to grad school. I went straight through. Um, Immediately after I graduated, I practiced business law, sort of general corporate law, and some tax law. I did that in Miami, Florida for a couple of years. And then I grew up in the Midwest and was ready to come back to the Midwest. And there was a firm in Kansas City that does public finance work. And that's how I landed in that area. And then I had two small kids and a demanding career and a husband who's also an attorney. And through a series of several events, I ended up, and I'm very happy that I ended up at the bank. It gives me a little bit more flexibility. There's one of us with a little bit more flexibility when things get really busy at work. We can tend to our boys who are now 3 years old and 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
And where would I like to go in the future? I really enjoy kind of the analytical side of what I do, but I also really enjoy interfacing with people and individuals. And when you're in the legal field, generally people come to you not ever really with solutions, but with problems. But the rewarding part of that is that you're key to solving them, and people begin to rely on you and develop a lot of trust and faith in you. And that can be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. I think
Mhm.
any students, everybody, when we can actually accomplish something and finish it, it's like,
Yes,
oh, this is
yes,
great.
yes,
So,
yes. So in that respect, I think for me, as I reflect on my career, that balance has been really the sweet spot for me. Kind of the analytical side mixed with being able to interact with people and interface with people, and know that even on paper it looks like a lot of numbers and words and a mishmash, but at the end of the day, there's a person behind everything. So
right.
that's
No,
kind of
that's
where you're
very
headed.
cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What is your favorite part of your job and what's your least favorite? We're going to get
uh
real here.
yeah, like practicing law in general, I would say the best part is when you're working on a client's behalf or trying to solve a problem. And I've always been on the transactional side doing contracts and things like that as opposed to litigation. Um, but but when you can bring something together and get the result that you want, that obviously is the most rewarding part. When you can make everybody happy and it's a win-win across the board, that's that's the best. That's what we all want. The least favorite part is the exact obviously the opposite of that. A lot of times you can work tirelessly and there will be circumstances beyond your control. where things just won't go the way you wanted, and you will have put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and you have to walk away knowing that you learned something from it. But you're not getting the result that you wanted for whoever is involved. So
Right. Yeah. Well, we all have parts of our jobs we
yes,
don't like as
of
much.
course, of course, we all have parts that we don't like. So
We
that
try to make it real so everybody understands.
yes, yes, yes. But it's just like, I mean, I think that's true in any career, right? Like you're going to have
Exactly.
days where you get the result that's a win, and you're going to have days where you get the result that's not.
That's
And
not right. And
so
just going
the
with
key, I think, is trying to have the foresight and maturity to learn from whatever it was, and remember it the next time, and to
exactly.
keep perspective. This is my ongoing challenge with
Right. Yes,
myself, to keep
exactly.
perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of our speakers have said, one of the best things when you do something wrong or make a mistake to learn from it, you know,
Yes.
it's not a
Yes.
bad
Yeah.
thing to make a
Yeah.
mistake, I guess is what I'm
Exactly.
trying to say.
And that's, I
So,
think, another thing is, especially in the legal field, surrounding yourself with colleagues, or being at wherever you're employed, where you have a team that supports you,
mm,
where everybody's on your side and everybody's working together, as opposed to an environment where there's a lot of competition, or
right.
you might not have quite that same feeling of support when there is a mistake, because no matter what people say, everyone will or has made a mistake.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
Yes, yes.
let's see. What was the first job you had and what did you learn from it?
The first job I had, after the first professional job I
Uh-huh.
had, or do we want
Either
that, or
one,
like what?
whichever, or what you did as a kid, either way.
Okay. Well, I was a lifeguard.
Mhm.
So what did I learn from that? I learned that I made a lot more money teaching swim lessons than lifeguarding, than what
Lifeguarding.
lifeguarding paid hourly. Uh, as an attorney, my first job was as an associate at a firm in Miami, Florida, where I did corporate law and some tax law, some real estate, stuff like that. And I learned I learned I learned that you can figure things out. A lot got thrown at me that I had to just figure out, and it seemed very overwhelming at times. But I learned that I have the ability to do that, and everybody does. That
Right.
even if when you're new at anything, it takes a lot of patience, and sometimes self-talk, but you will get through it. And uh, as you face new additional challenges in your career, you'll fall back, not necessarily on the substance of what you learned, but on your ability to teach yourself and learn how to navigate those challenges as they come down the road.
Right. Okay, great. No, that's important to learn about those things. And every piece of your life you're learning, I think, and we just it get you where you're
Yeah.
going.
I'm trying.
So,
I need the
what
handbook. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We need the handbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did your educational path look like to get to where you?
So I grew up in Springfield, Illinois. My undergraduate was at St. Mary's College in Notre Dame,
Okay,
Indiana, which is a women's
Indiana.
college, right up across the street from Notre Dame. And then I went to law school at Notre Dame. So
Okay,
I was in South Bend for 7 years, and then from there, from there I moved to Miami, Florida.
okay.
And so
Got tired of the winters.
I went straight through. Yes, it was March, and I was looking for a job, and I was like, I am good with Florida. That sounds
Florida.
great. Yes. Yes.
So, so let's see. What is your definition of success?
I really think that success is defined individually for everyone, which isn't really an answer, but it's a good lawyer answer. And I really think that we each have to just come to a place within ourselves where we know that we're satisfied with the life that we've built. And to me, that's success, whatever that means to each person, whether
Mhm.
that's your family and friends, or professional accolades, or a combination of both. But it's getting to that place within each of us where we're satisfied.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I always love that question because I know students think, oh, if I make a lot of money, I'll be
Yeah.
successful. And
Yeah.
all these that I've done, nobody said
Nobody
that.
said that.
No. So what can students do now to help them prepare for a career in law?
Yeah. Um, I think that the biggest thing is to obviously do well with the classes you're taking. Always open up opportunities, don't shut them down. So if there's a club that you're interested in joining, if there's a leadership opportunity that presents itself, by all means dive into that, if you have the time to do that and you can do it well. I think looking giving yourself a well-rounded base of experiences and coursework is always beneficial, and law schools tend to look for that. I mean, a lot of them are really focused, or at least they used to be, on your test scores and your GPA. But like, I think more and more, and Notre Dame was certainly this way, they looked at the entire applicant and wanted to see, you know, what leadership opportunities have you taken on? What community service have you undertaken? What interests do you have? And can you follow through on those? So I think just opening yourself up to opportunities and taking on additional activities or sports or whatever your interests happen to be, to give yourself that breadth of experience, as opposed to just saying, oh, I'm just gonna, I guess, open yourself up rather than closing yourself off. How's that?
Right. Yeah, no, that makes total
Yeah.
sense. And
Yeah.
not focus totally, because you never know what you're going to
Hmm.
learn
Hmm.
on the side. So
Yeah.
it
And
can
I
get
will
you
say,
somewhere.
when I was in high school, I had an attorney tell me that his student government experience really helped him tremendously, more than he thought it would. And I always
Right.
kept that in mind. And I got fairly involved in student government. And I would echo the same sentiment. I mean, lots of my different extracurriculars have obviously,
Right.
everything you do shapes you, but
Right.
that in particular, I have fallen back on time and time again, even at this point in my career, as I face new challenges. Some of the lessons that I learned, 20 years ago, have still are in my
Right.
mind, and are helpful as I
Mhm.
as I face challenges now.
Oh, awesome. That's very good. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing
Yeah.
with us. We've
Yeah.
really appreciated it, and good luck with going forward.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Good luck to you guys. I'm glad that the virtual career fair is coming together.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.